Joining me now is Michael Carpenter, who served as foreign policy advisor to Vice President Joe Biden. He's now managing director of the Penn Biden Center for Diplomacy and Global Engagement. Michael, thanks for being with us. President Biden is going to give his first major foreign policy address tomorrow. He's facing a world of problems. How is he going to deal with Russia's President Vladimir Putin after Navalny now has been jailed?
Well, Andrea, I think President Biden certainly is under no illusions about the nature of the Putin regime. He understands very well its authoritarian and kleptocratic nature. And so what I think President Biden has already done is juggle two very important issues. He has simultaneously extended the New START treaty to ensure strategic stability between the United States and Russia, keeping those limits on our nuclear arsenals in place and extending them with verifiable inspections through 2026. That's a huge achievement. But now he has to deal with this outrageous behavior with respect to Alexei Navalny, where the same political apparatus that poisoned Navalny is now sentencing him for having been poisoned. It's just absolutely crazy. But, I suspect that Biden has a number of tools at his disposal that he may use in the coming weeks. Those include global Magnitsky authorities, as well as coordination with our partners on a number of other steps that could be taken to impose costs on Russia. I'm heartened to see that the United States has joined its G7 partners in issuing a very strongly worded statement about what's happened with this outrageous sentencing of Alexei Navalny. That means that we're coordinating well with our democratic allies, and that's going to be crucial going forward.
And when you refer to the Magnitsky protocols, you're talking about sanctions, and sanctions against Russian, Putin backers. That's what Navalny's people are calling for.
Indeed, global Magnitsky authorities allow for sanctioning those who are involved in gross human rights abuses, as well as in egregious corruption. And in this case, it's one and the same. So those provide one set of authorities. Frankly, what I would love to see happen as a result of this action by the Kremlin is to see the transatlantic community become more united around the issue of other costs that could be imposed on Russia. So we're not always just reflexively reaching for sanctions, but deploying other tools as well. And I think one of the most powerful things that could at least theoretically be done is to halt indefinitely the construction of the Nord Stream 2 pipeline from Russia to Germany. Increasingly, you have voices in Europe, including French President Macron, but also within Germany's ruling CDU party, calling for the suspension or at least a reconsideration of Nord Stream 2. If that were to be done, that would have perhaps the biggest impact of all on the Kremlin.
Interesting. And also, of course, there is Myanmar, also known as Burma, and what's happened now to Aung San Suu Kyi and the other political leaders. The G7 is calling for them to be released. But how much leverage do we really have? About $135 million last fiscal year in aid, but we don't want to hurt the Rohingyas. What can we really do? We don't really have influence on the military coup.
Well, in places like Burma or Belarus, where in Burma you have a military coup with the democratic government deposed, there are frankly few tools at our disposal, but that doesn't mean that we should be passive. We have to try to shape the incentive structure. And I think you see the administration doing that, reviewing its assistance monies to ensure that it goes only to civil society groups and the Rohingya and not to the government. And then perhaps working with partners, like-minded partners, democratic allies, to impose sanctions. At the end of the day, we don't control what happens inside Burma, but certainly we can shape the incentives to punish the ruling clique, the military, for what it has done.
We have less than a minute left. Could I ask you briefly, senior officials saying on day one, Tony Blinken asked for a diplomatic security update, including on the Havana syndrome. Should we at least lift that terror designation on Cuba?
Well, look, I think that there needs to be a careful review done by the department and the intelligence community when they've completed that and gathered all the information on the scope and scale of what has happened. Then I think appropriate consequences should follow. So I will leave it to them to decide, at the time and manner of their choosing, how they respond to these allegations.
Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel. You should know that you can follow today's top stories and breaking news and catch up on your favorite MSNBC shows all in one place. Download the NBC News app today.